The great secret hidden for 5,000 years is finally coming to light. What if I told you that scientists have discovered a 2-kilometer energy network under the pyramids of Egypt? This technology is so advanced that it could rewrite history and even power modern cities. A secret room was found. Even though it was built thousands of years ago, it has surprising information about stars and space, knowledge that NASA discovered only recently. But how did they get this information when science was not that advanced? Was it aliens, the Anunnaki, or spiritual powers? There are also new and surprising theories about how the pyramids were built. Some say the 15-ton stones were brought from the Nile using special high-tech ships. Maybe invisible beings like Jinn helped too. And there's more. 2 great miracles of the Qur'an are hidden in the hieroglyphic script. Proof that Islam is the true religion is now becoming clear. In this video, you will hear new theories, documents, and scientific explanations that you won't find anywhere else. We collected information from dozens of sources and worked hard. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support means everything. Around 5,000 years ago, one of the world's biggest and strongest empires appeared near the Nile River. This civilization built one of the most mysterious and unusual structures in history, the pyramids of Giza. For thousands of years, these pyramids have been at the center of many theories and questions, and that's no surprise. The base of the Great Pyramid is almost perfectly in line with the number 3.1416, the value of pi. This knowledge was only discovered in modern math thousands of years later. But that's not all. The golden ratio, 1.618, also appears in the pyramid's design. This shows that the ancient Egyptians were not just builders, but also very advanced in mathematics. Still, modern historians cannot explain how they got this knowledge. Now let's talk about a dangerous mystery inside the Great Pyramid. Some researchers who entered certain rooms in the pyramid got strange illnesses. In the early days of exploration, a few scientists who entered specific parts of the pyramid got cancer shortly after. Some even died suddenly. Later tests showed that radiation levels in those rooms were extremely high. This suggests that some rooms were protected on purpose, or even booby-trapped. Even modern radiation tools have trouble working in those areas. Scientists still can't explain how such an ancient structure could have such advanced safety technology. Yes, these buildings are not only dark and mysterious, but they also have scary and esoteric connections. Some people believe that aliens helped build these pyramids. Even with today's best tools and technology, we still cannot copy this construction. Now think about it. They built it without any blueprint, without copying anything. Maybe someone, beings from outside the earth, guided them or even helped them during the process. And right here, a new discovery shakes all these theories from the ground up. Recently, 2 researchers in Egypt used a special advanced technology called synthetic aperture radar, SAR. Unlike normal radar, this tool can scan underground and reveal hidden structures. While studying the pyramids of Giza, the researchers found something incredible with this technology. Beneath the sand-covered surface of these ancient wonders, there is a huge underground system. It stretches almost 2 kilometers deep. It was designed with very advanced techniques, so advanced that even today it could be called high technology. This place was not just an old building, but a very complex energy center. Further research showed that this system was not only made to produce energy, but also to transfer energy without cables, a concept very similar to what Nikola Tesla dreamed of in the early 20th century. Inside these structures, there were complex rooms and tunnels. Their amazing design made scientists think it was built for a special purpose. Many experts now believe it was more than just an energy system. Some say it may have been used to communicate with beings from outside the Earth. What made it even more mysterious were the strange hieroglyphs on the walls of these underground rooms. These symbols showed stars and planets, matching the data we have today from modern telescopes. The star positions in the drawings were very accurate, just like the real sky today. So the big question is, how did people 5,000 years ago know about the sky in ways only modern science can confirm today? Some of the drawings were especially interesting. They looked like today's satellites and spacecraft. Because of this, some experts say that the ancient Egyptians either met a very advanced alien civilization, or they had technology we still do not understand. All of this is strong proof that ancient Egyptians may have studied space long before telescopes were invented. These discoveries in Giza completely change how we think about ancient civilizations and what they could do. They show us a society that could produce and transfer energy in ways we are just starting to understand. This advanced structure, hidden under one of the world's most studied places, shows that history might be very different from what we thought. A Quranic miracle found in pyramid hieroglyphs. The name Haman is mentioned in 6 verses in the Quran, for example, Surat Al-Qasas 28:38, as an important person close to Pharaoh. In the Quran, Haman is described as someone responsible for building projects under Pharaoh. But in the Torah, the name Haman appears not during the time of Musa, but later, as a minister of the Persian king Ahasuerus, who was an enemy of the Jews. Because of this, some Orientalists claimed that the Quran made a historical mistake. However, in 1799, the Rosetta Stone was found in the town of Rosetta, Reshid, Egypt. Thanks to this stone, the secret of the ancient Egyptian writing, hieroglyphs, was solved. In 1822, French linguist Jean-François Champollion decoded the writing and proved that hieroglyphs were based on sounds. After this, researchers found the name Haman in Egyptian texts. He was described as chief of the workers in the stone quarries. This shows that the Haman mentioned in the Quran was a real historical figure. So the information in the Quran was correct. This is a powerful proof and a miracle that only became known in the last 2 centuries. The miracle of the words king and Pharaoh in the Quran. Another Quranic miracle was discovered during a scientific study in Egypt. At the time when the Quran was revealed in the 7th century, this historical fact was unknown. The Quran calls the ruler during the time of Prophet Yusuf king, but during the time of Musa, the ruler is called Pharaoh. This difference is actually correct and matches what modern history now knows. Before this, both Christianity and Judaism called the ruler Pharaoh in the story of Yusuf, but the Quran, revealed in the 7th century, used king. The truth was discovered. The Rosetta Stone was found in 1799. In 1822, Champollion decoded the hieroglyphs. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the history and titles used in ancient Egypt became clear. Before this period, no text or scholar knew about this difference. So, when the Bible and Torah say Pharaoh during Yusuf's time, that is incorrect. The Quran's use of the word king is accurate according to modern historical findings. This is a huge challenge and a clear miracle of the Quran. In ancient Egyptian history, the title Pharaoh was only used during the New Kingdom period, around 1550 BCE and later. But Yusuf lived during the Middle Kingdom, around 2050 to 1650 BCE. At that time, rulers were called kings, not pharaohs. So the wording in the Quran matches the reality of that time perfectly. In another scientific study, it was found that the huge stones used in these engineering wonders, each weighing between 2 and 15 tons, were brought over the Nile River. The Great Pyramids of Egypt, especially the Pyramid of Khufu, were made from around 2.5 million stone blocks. So people ask, what kind of ships, what kind of technology, and what kind of energy were used to do this? It's very hard to believe. Even scientists are amazed by these facts. One of the accepted scientific theories is that ramps were used to build the pyramids. It is believed that the ancient Egyptians used long, wide ramps to move and place the stones. These ramps may have gone around the pyramid in a spiral, or they may have gone straight up to the top. Some researchers say these ramps were supported with different materials, and workers carried the stones up step by step. Another theory says that the blocks were moved using wooden sleds or carts. In this method, workers put the stones on the sleds and pulled them up the ramps. Studies show that ancient Egyptians had strong labor forces and advanced engineering methods to move these stones. Another theory says that just like Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam used Jinn to build a temple, the ancient Egyptians may have used Jinn to build these structures. In the Quran, it is said that Sulaiman, with permission from Allah, made the Jinn work for him. They built temples, statues, large bowls, and fixed cooking pots. They also dived into the sea to bring out precious stones and pearls. So, if Jinn have the power to build such things, it seems possible that they were involved. Some researchers say the size and design of the pyramids cannot be explained by human power and tools of that time. They believe these buildings might have been made by supernatural beings like Jinn. According to this idea, the pharaohs used Jinn to help build the pyramids and took advantage of their powers. Since pharaohs were very interested in magic and spiritual knowledge, this theory doesn't sound so strange. Of course, only about 70% of the pyramids have been explored so far. The remaining 30% is still a mystery. No one has entered these parts yet. Some rooms are still closed and completely unreachable. According to one story, Pharaoh says to Haman, "O Haman, build me a high tower so I can reach the God of Musa." This story is also found in the Quran, and some theories say that after this command, the Great Pyramid of Khufu was started. Khufu is the biggest of the 3 pyramids in Giza, and its construction took around 20 years. It's believed that about 100,000 workers built this huge structure. After that, the Pyramid of Khafra was built. But they didn't start building the Pyramid of Menkaure, Mykerinos, right away. There was a 100-year gap before it was made. Probably a new pharaoh and his team took over the work. That's why, as you can see, the Pyramid of Menkaure is much smaller than the others. The reason might be they couldn't find the knowledge or method used to build the earlier pyramids, so they only managed to build a small one. The famous scientist Nikola Tesla was known not only for his work on electricity and magnetism, but also for his surprising research about ancient buildings and energy transmission. Tesla believed the locations of the pyramids were not random. He thought they had an important role in sending energy. Tesla said that the places where the pyramids were built matched with special energy points on Earth. These energy points, he said, interacted with the planet's electromagnetic field. Because of this, the pyramids could work like energy generators. He supported this idea with his research. Tesla believed the pyramids were not just tombs, but that they held scientific secrets that people have not fully discovered yet. Tesla's ideas about energy matched many of his other inventions. He focused a lot on wireless energy transmission, and one of his most famous inventions was the Tesla coil. The Tesla coil could send electrical energy through the air at high frequencies without using wires. Tesla thought this technology might be similar to how the pyramids produced or transmitted energy. He also believed the materials and shape of the pyramids helped energy move more efficiently. He focused on the outer stones of the pyramids, which he thought could absorb and send magnetic energy. He believed the pyramids were part of a larger energy network and could increase the power of energy fields around them. Tesla's theories about energy systems and wireless electricity support the idea that the pyramids were not just symbols of ancient civilization, but also advanced scientific structures. His thoughts about the pyramids are not only about ancient engineering, but also about the desire to learn more about the unknown sides of Earth's energy and electromagnetism. Tesla's forward-thinking ideas are still studied today. They continue to inspire new research about the possible scientific secrets hidden inside the pyramids. Napoleon's memory and one-night experience inside the pyramid. In 1798, during his campaign in Egypt, Napoleon visited the Great Pyramid of Khufu. According to many sources, he was amazed and deeply affected when he entered the pyramid. Some stories say he had a kind of vision while spending time inside. Historians believe that this lonely moment increased his admiration for ancient Egypt and may have changed some of his personal views. They were digging a tunnel and by chance found the entrance of Khufu's pyramid. Napoleon stayed inside the pyramid for one night. In the morning, when his soldiers came to check on him, his face was pale. He looked terrified, but he never told anyone what happened inside. Only when he was near death did he say something. He said to the people around him, "You know that thing you were all so curious about?" Then he added, "What good would it do now?" But he didn't explain anything. He died without telling anyone what he saw, so no one will ever know what happened in that room. When we look at the timeline, the king closest to Musa is believed to be Ramses II, and the king closest to Yusuf is said to be Amenhotep III. These pharaohs were especially intelligent, and they had wise advisors around them. With their advice, the pyramids were built very close to the Nile River. That's because moving the stone blocks was one of the biggest challenges in building the pyramids. But the pharaohs solved this problem by using the Nile in a smart way. In ancient Egypt, the giant stones used in pyramid construction were taken from stone quarries and moved along the Nile River. The pharaohs used large boats made especially for carrying stones. The Egyptians loaded these boats with heavy blocks and sailed them to the pyramid building site. Many archaeological findings show that these boats were specially designed only for carrying stones. These boats not only moved the blocks along the river, but special docks were also built for unloading. These docks helped bring the stones safely to the land. After unloading, workers carried the stones to the pyramid area and placed them. A branch of the Nile used to pass right through this area. It never dried up. In fact, they changed its direction. After sailing the Nile on the Khufu and Khafre boats, people would return and park their boats right here again. The talking mummy priest. With the help of new technology, scientists were able to make a mummy speak. The voice of a 3,000-year-old Egyptian priest was recreated after death. The mummy was taken from the Leeds Museum in the UK and scanned using CT computerized tomography. This allowed scientists to rebuild the shape of his voice tract. His damaged palate and tongue were copied and connected to an electronic sound system. Because the priest was well preserved, the shape of his throat was mostly intact. As a result, the priest's voice could be heard again with the help of a computer. With future technology and artificial intelligence, who knows? Maybe these mummies will one day tell us their secrets in their own words. Nikola Tesla and the pyramids. The ship found near the pyramid of Khufu. The ship found near the pyramid of Khufu is one of the biggest and most exciting discoveries in Egyptian archaeology. In 1954, it was found in a pit to the southeast of the pyramid. It was believed to be a special ship prepared to carry Khufu to the next world after death. The ship is about 44 meters long and 6 meters wide, making it one of the largest and most impressive ships of that time. This ship, found near the Pyramid of Khufu, was not just a symbol of the pharaoh's journey after death. It was also closely connected to the religious beliefs of ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians believed that for a pharaoh to live in the afterlife, not only the body, but also the soul had to be protected. So this ship for Khufu was made as a tool to carry him on his eternal journey. The way the ship was built shows how advanced the Egyptians were in shipmaking. Every part was made with great skill and deep knowledge of engineering. This ship became a key to understanding Egypt's history and culture. Each part gives us information about their art, science, and religious beliefs. 2 big ships belonging to King Khufu were taken out from that area. The ships were removed from near the pyramid and taken to the Grand Museum. The secrets behind mummified cats and birds. In Egypt, mummification was not only for humans, it was also common for animals. Especially cats and birds had an important place in Egyptian religious beliefs. The Egyptians believed these animals served the gods, so they mummified them and placed them in tombs as offerings. Cats were among the most sacred animals in Egypt. Birds, especially holy birds, were also mummified to guide them to eternal life. The bird mummies found in Egypt show how important animals were in religion and belief. Egyptians didn't only dedicate animals to their gods, they also believed that these animals would live in the next world after death, if they were mummified. What kind of cats were mummified? They were completely black cats, and they were brought from different regions. Each region had one black cat, and it was seen as sacred. The mummification process was done very carefully to protect the body for life after death. First, the body was cleaned with water and spices. This was important both physically and spiritually. Then, the internal organs were carefully removed. All intestines and organs were taken out. Some were kept in special jars, while others were removed completely, but the heart was never taken out. They even removed the brain, but they always left the heart. There were 2 reasons for this. First, they believed a person would be judged in the next world based on their heart. Second, ancient Egyptians believed that people thought with their hearts, not their brains. So the heart had to stay in the body. After that, the body was dried using a salt mixture called natron. Natron took all the water from the body and stopped any bacteria from growing. When the drying was finished, the body was wrapped with thin layers of cloth. Between the cloths, they placed protective items called amulets. They believed these would protect the dead person in the afterlife. What about the jars buried next to the body? These jars were used to store the organs and intestines that were taken out. They were placed right next to the mummy, sometimes with a candle beside them. The purpose? They believed the person would need those organs again in the next life, to use them. The lives of Isa and Musa in Egypt. Egypt was not only the heart of an ancient civilization, but also played an important role as the land where many prophets lived. Musa was born in Egypt and lived there for some time while escaping the cruelty of Pharaoh. Years later, he returned to Egypt to free his people. According to the Bible, Isa also came to Egypt to escape from danger. He stayed there for a while for protection. The fact that both of these prophets lived in Egypt shows the deep spiritual meaning of this land. It proves that Egypt has great importance in both Islam and Christianity. In fact, there are many documents that say Prophet Isa lived in Egypt. So both Isa and Musa, 2 important figures, spent part of their lives in this land. Also, Judaism was very common in ancient Egypt. Yes, ancient Egypt, with its 5,000-year history, is still full of mystery. Studies show that we have only discovered about 30% of this amazing civilization. Thousands of secrets are still waiting to be found. But one of the most important lights that can help us understand these mysteries is the prophets who were sent to this land. Especially the story of Prophet Moses in the Qur'an plays a key role in explaining these deep secrets. And now we've taken one more step into the mysterious world of Egypt. Each day, more secrets from the past are being revealed. And this journey is still not over. If you enjoyed the video, please support us by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. This will help us stay motivated and create more content like this. If we reach 10,000 likes, we'll continue this mystery series. Thank you all so much for your support until now.